everybody. I just want to let you know I misspoke in one part, and I'll clear that up later of the last video. And secondly, I want to thank Mr. Welker for loaning me the tripod so I could make the board actually be square instead of tilted off to the side and stuff. So thank you, Mr. Welker. All right, hydrocarbons. I talked about them a little bit in the previous section. Hydrocarbons are any compound that's made with hydrogen and carbon, and there are so many. It's the biggest amount of molecules that you have in this world. Most of them are hydrocarbons. Now, just want to make sure I have. Want to make sure I cover everything. All right. The first, they come in three kinds. There are alkanes, there are alkenes, and alkynes. Remember I said that carbons can attach in many different ways. This is two carbons put together with a single bond, and they have three other bonds that can attach to something else. This is what an alkane is. And because it's got a single bond, there's no place you can stick anything else because all four bonds are being used. And so that is a situation that's called saturated. Not quite the same as a saturated solution, but saturated means that it only has single bonds. Okay, so if it only has single bonds, it's a saturated compound. Now we name hydrocarbons by how many carbons they have. So this one has two carbons, and if you look at this list over here, and it's also in your book, these are the prefixes. So this would be ethane because it's got two carbons, so the prefix is eth, and it's an alkane. So it would be ethane, all right? When you have just a group, let's say I wanted to, well, I won't stick on this, but let's say I just wanted to stick a group onto another big hydrocarbon, and it is a methyl group because meth is a single carbon and it can be attached. Notice there's no hydrogen here. It can be attached to another hydrocarbon, and so this would be called a methyl group. So I challenge you, next time you're stuck in the bathroom or something, grab a shampoo bottle or any chemical in your house and read the back. You'll see words like methyl and anes and ines and things like that. So just take a look. It's kind of interesting to see what's in the stuff you're using. So an alkane is a single bond. It's saturated, and it's you name it by adding the A and E to the end. Meth, eth, propane, bute are the first four. You can remember them by saying mom eats peanut butter or something like that because they're not like your polygons. All the rest are named just like polygons. Like you have a pentagon, a hexagon, a heptagon. Same thing would be like pentane, hexane, heptane, octane. You've heard of octane, right? That's in your gasoline. So these are all your prefixes. You should have them memorized at some point in your life. Obviously, this class, you don't need to, but you would have if we had been able to have a test. So anyway, that's everything about ethanes, and this would be a methyl group. Now, alkenes, ene, the ending ene, means you have a double bond in there somewhere. And notice, I can't put as many hydrogens in an alkene because this bond is tied up between these two, okay? So this would be ethene, okay, ethene. And ethene would be C2H4. This would be C2H6. So this, however, can be broken and you can make it into this. That's a process that's known as hydrogenation. Have you ever heard of hydrogenated vegetable oil? Well, that's how they make it. It actually solidifies the oil. That's how they made margarine and things. So hydrogenated vegetable oil is one use for this breaking it up. Now, since we can break it and add hydrogens, that is what is called unsaturated. So anything above an alkane is unsaturated because it has bonds that can be broken and you can stick other hydrogens on. So this would be ethene. Then there are alkynes, which I forgot to write up there, but alkynes would have a triple bond, and see, that prevents even more, so that'd be C2H2, and it is also unsaturated, but it is alkyne, so this would be ethyne, okay? So that is your triple bond that can be broken up, so it's unsaturated. So that's how you would name your hydrocarbons. Your basic hydrocarbons would be like methane, propane, butane. If you have ethine or butane, you can have pentyne. So there are all different kinds of, you can't have methane, I'm sorry, because methane is only a single carbon. All right, so those are the prefixes. These are your basic. Now, there are things called cyclical aliphatic. Now, I said anything that forms a ring is an aromatic. That is not true. Only aromatics are only things that are six-sided rings or benzene rings. Cyclic aliphatic could have 5 carbons, and it can have all, it can be like that. So cyclical aromatic is something that's not a benzene ring. So let me explain what a benzene ring is. Aromatics, like I said, are, let me erase this. They are 6 carbon atoms put together in a hexagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 each. All right. Now, notice that only 3 of the bonds in each of these are used. But I can't put a double bond on both sides, otherwise somebody would have 5. So this is a situation where they share those electrons. Some places write it like this, as if there's a double bond every other one. But that's not really representative of what's happening there. They share these electrons. A lot of times they'll put a ring in there, showing that those electrons are delocalized. They actually are not assigned to a single carbon. So those electrons are delocalized. These are the aromatic ones. These are the ones that make smells in nature. Okay, so that's your basics for your hydrocarbons.